Foundation, yes, absolutely. Your connection with the earth, your sense of groundedness, safety, even abundance and lack dwell there. Stability, yes. And so all these things are natural. If you notice all the words that we just mentioned, all of them are intrinsic. They're inside of us. The ability to tap into those states of being is inside of us. And financial security, yes. How about sexuality? I know y'all can't type that, but I could say it because this is for educational purposes. Right? All of your drives, your primal nature, survival, yes. Hunger, thirst, sexual cravings, right? And so when we look at the shadow side of the root chakra, we have shame in those areas, lack in those areas. You feel ungrounded in those areas. Yeah, it probably did because it didn't show up. When your root chakra is blocked, you participate in activities in those areas that have to do with fear, lack, guilt, shame, right? You're hiding something. A lot of people need to do some root chakra work as it relates to physical intimacy, right? They have some fears about connecting and what that means for life. Your root chakra is out of balance if, thank you so much, if in your relationships you fear loss. If you feel jealous, jealousy can come out of an imbalanced root chakra. Someone getting what you feel is yours. Something getting that you don't have, something that you don't have or have always wanted or something like that. So today is a root chakra day, and therefore we are listening to 396 hertz. And let us begin now. We're going to start off with the 7-day cycle. Yesterday we started, Yesterday we started the white cycle, the white 7 days. Hey Marie. This group of 7 days is called a heptad. And so when we look at the color white, we expect some transitioning to happen, some refining to happen. And so during this next 5 days, you need to meditate. Listen to meditative music. You need to, even while you're driving, turn that into a sort of meditation. Stay in your awareness. When you're exercising, turn that into a moving meditation. When you're eating, eat meditatively. When you drink, what does that mean? Heighten your awareness and focus such that you experience your God self. And you can do that in whatever you're doing for the next 6 days, including today. Greetings, Skywalker. So we're in the 7-day cycle called a heptad. It is the white heptad. We're looking at that white row on your screen. Your focus is meditation over the next 7 days. If you have projects, it's time to refine the projects. Bring them into a more precise state. It's about humility. What is humility? Y'all can talk to me. What is humility? And then, of course, I'm going to look it up. This white heptad is about humility. To me, humility is saying I'm both human and divine. Acknowledging where I am, who I am, without the need of the ego to rise up and assert dominance or separateness. That's humility to me. Self-awareness, okay? Humility is what the scripture calls have a sober view. You're not thinking too high. in the sense of I'm better than. You're not thinking too low in sense of inferiority. You got a sober way of viewing yourself. I love it too. There's a scripture, Romans 12:3, that says, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, that every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt every man a measure of faith." That means we're going to let spiritual egocentrism go. I don't know, it might, but I can't tell you from it. Maybe if you were following it from the start, you could follow the moons of it, right? So think soberly, according as God has dealt every man a measure of faith. We're letting go of spiritual egocentricity, meaning everything is based around and viewed from your ego. You're easily offended when you're egocentric. You're defensive when you're egocentric. In other words, you're insecure when you're egocentric. When your ego is so important to you that you create suffering because someone doesn't acknowledge it or see it, or doesn't acknowledge your gifting, or that you're this or that's egocentricity. And we need to let that go. You can think soberly about yourself and have your ashe on it. Put your life force on that. Ashe. My ashe is on my sober thinking about myself. I know I'm divine. I know I'm a walking cosmos. I know I'm a portal. I know that. And I also know I am human. I also know that I experience the widest range of the human experience that I can. I know that I'm light and I'm dark. And my ashe is there, right? Because sometimes there's some people in your life, well, I don't know about y'all. Y'all can tell me. I'm going to talk about me. I've known since childhood that there are some people that expect all light from me. Parents do it, and they get disappointed if you show some darkness. Last semester, my son told his dad that he feared that I was disappointed in him. And I said, son, I can never be disappointed in you. Never. I know what you're capable of. I also know that you're human, and I know what human is capable of. And you could never disappoint me. So don't let that be your fear, please. Right? They expect all light. So then when you come out of pocket on them, they want to offer shame and guilt. Oh, I thought you was the church girl. That's growing up. Oh, I thought you was this. I thought you're right. I am that. And I'm this too. The dark scares them. Like I'm not right. And that's what dark goddess work did for me over the years. It helped me to have a sober view about myself. To not put myself in a box. There's a time. There's a scripture, right, that says there's a time and a season for every purpose under the sun. And if you're only dwelling in one purpose, you are out of balance. Can we read that scripture? It's one of my favorites. Listen, some people wonder, why does she read from the Bible? Because we know that the Bible, right, has been developed from truths, ancient truths. Now, of course, we know it's been manipulated in certain ways, but the truth still shines forth. The light shineth in darkness, and the darkness cannot extinguish it. I'm just telling you what I know. It's blocking some of your comments, just FYI. So let me read it to you. I can read the Hunab Ku, I can read the Quran, I can read the Emerald Tablets, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Gospel of Judas, St. Thomas, and all of that, and I'm going to find truth in it. I can read the Yoga Sutras, Go into some Sanskrit and hieroglyphics. I'm going to find truth. The book of Enoch, the book of Mary, the lost book of John. All right. I'm going to find truth there. To everything there is a season and a time. To every purpose under heaven or the sun. I want to read that King James Version because I like it. I was raised up on the King James Version, and yes, it is a spell that I use for my benefit. When I read the King James Version, I feel real special. It's a spell. So it goes in a little deeper when I read that old. I'm just telling you about me. I don't know about you. Here we go. Yeah, it's a poetic language. To everything there is a season. That ain't the right one still. Is that it? Okay, this is it. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to the opposite. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to, when we do that to animals to eat them, I can't say the word, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. There's a time to weep. What you talking about? Stop crying. It's a time for it. A time to weep and a time to laugh. Why you want people laughing and smiling all the time when the scripture tells you there's a time for all of it? And I dare you to laugh at some stuff that ain't real funny. So wanting love and light only from yourself and the people around you is unreasonable. There's a time to mourn and a time to dance. You go into some kind of grieving or mourning state and people want to preach you out of it. Oh no, don't think like that. Don't say that. Don't. I traveled the underworld realms too. And I know about grief. Okay, and there's a time for it. There's a time to mourn and a time to dance. Now, if you want to get up out the energy, then do that. But if you know how to alchemize it, then do that too. There's a time to get or acquire and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. And this is where wisdom comes in. So you can know what time it is. You can't just be, like I told y'all the other day, some people, they unlock their throat chakra and they just start getting diarrhea of the mouth, my mama used to call it. They just start blurting out stuff and saying stuff without wisdom, without tact, without full understanding of what they're even trying to accomplish. A time to love and a time for the opposite. A time of war and a time of peace. So y'all start thinking, right, just moving the wind. Y'all start thinking, oh, we just want always peace and things like that. And sure, I want that too. But I know that also there's the principle of polarity at work, which is what this is. There's the principle of rhythm at work, which is what this is. There's the principle of gender at work, which is what this is. You see, Hermetic principles, all that is made into this. It says, okay, I read all of it. But here's one. Ooh, here's a gem that I wasn't expecting. He had made everything beautiful in his time. He had made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he had set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from beginning to end. In other words, we're timeless. That's what's in us. We're timeless. We got to face dark to get to light. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we only know what's dark because we know what light is. And we need to stop making this dark good, bad, right, wrong, and all of this stuff. You want to call it a low vibration? Okay, I get in a low vibration sometimes because I'm a low vibration as well. It's in me. All the vibrations are in me. Now, if you're saying it's not in you, ashe, but I have a sober view of myself. All those vibrations are in me. And I raise my vibration and I allow it to go low when it goes low too. But the problem is you don't know how to manage all those levels. So you try to stay away from the low ones because you're scared. You don't know what your potential is when you're vibrating low. Or you've done some things when you were vibrating low and you began to fear your own self, your own vibration. The problem is not the vibration. Rocks have a different vibration than you do. Right, and being dense is all right here because that's where in dense matter, right? This whole reality is made of something far denser than spirit. Right? And so I have a broad range of vibrations. So let's go back. The 7-day period. There's a time for everything. What time is it? What time is it for you to let go of? What is it time for you to embrace? That's the 7-day cycle. Look at the 28-day cycle that's listed here. This 28-day cycle is a crystal moon. I think it's called the crystal rabbit moon. Go ahead and do you some research on the rabbit, okay? But I know rabbits have to do with fertility and vibrance, right? It's a fertile moon to dedicate, universalize, and cooperate. So as we progress through this 28-day period of the crystal rabbit moon, what are you dedicated to? That's your power to dedicate to something. What would you like to dedicate to? When I started learning about this timekeeping system and I got proficient enough to talk about it, I wanted to dedicate my service to sharing this because I see the benefit of it. And to universalize it, make it available to whoever wants it. Right, in bite-sized pieces. I'm dedicated to universalizing this. When I was reading the information from the founder, I found out that was the vision of the founder, for people to take this, and it said, bring it on your social media channels and put your spin on it and share this, because we need to move as a collective into a new frequency of time, one that is syncing with nature. I'm doing my part. I feel dedicated to it. What are you dedicated to? You could be dedicated to your health, or dedicated to your personal growth, or dedicated to growing a business. What are you dedicating? Universalize, make it available. Right? Maybe you go through hard spaces, and I learned that when you go through hard spaces, you break it down into teachable concepts. That's called universalizing. And cooperation, right? The essence of it is cooperative. We're working together. We're moving together. We're flowing together. What aspect of cooperation are we in? Hey, Peaches. Cooperation. And how do you want to cooperate? See, we think of cooperation in the sense of moving with like minds and working toward the same goal. But you can also cooperate with people you don't agree with. You're dedicated to cooperation, Ashe. You can cooperate with people you don't agree with. Cooperate for peace. You can cooperate with people you don't like. Cooperate to be civil. You can cooperate with people who have thought processes and belief systems that are different from yours. You can cooperate in respect, with respect, in honor. That's the time you're in right now, Ashe. So that's the 28-day cycle. We talked about the 7 days is starting to rain. Now we hit the 28-day. Cooperate with respect. Sometimes I need to cooperate with consequence. You know, when I said enough is enough and I gave you a chance, now we're going to cooperate in producing this consequence. How many of you know that you cannot let people keep asserting hurtful behavior without a consequence? It's called boundaries. If you let people continue on with hurtful behavior, it will not stop and it will escalate if they are not aware. All right, let's continue. So now we're going to move in and look at this this castle that we're in. We're in a white castle. And the castle is about death also. That's a 52-day cycle. The 7-day cycle is about transitioning from old things. The 52-day cycle is about transitioning from old things. The 13-day cycle that we're in, we're talking about synchronicities here. The 13-day cycle that we're in, this white part, you see the black dot in the middle of the screen? Well, that whole white section is where we are. So we got 3 more days in this white, what's called a wave spell. That's a 13-day cycle. I hope you see how all of this is working together. It's not separate, it's working together. And we have this season here. The season is blue, so it's about transformation. It's also coded by the eagle, and the eagle is about taking an eagle eye perspective. What is an eagle eye perspective? It's universal truth. It's getting as many perspectives as possible and then allowing your intuition to pull the right one for you. Sometimes when you get stuck in one perspective, you see a thing one way, you see a person one way, you see a situation one way, you cannot ascend. Your daughter is the eagle. Hey, eagle. You cannot ascend when you have tunnel vision. And so and I understand that sometimes you're doing something that you feel uncomfortable about and you need tunnel vision. There's a time for that. But this season is not the time. This season is not the time. I like to ask people, I like to present a situation to a person and say, what do you see? I'm not asking them to tell me what to do. I'm asking them, what do they see? That's an eagle's eye perspective. An eagle is flying, right? It's actively moving, even if it's soaring, right? It's covering a lot of ground. If you only have your perspective and you continue to get what you don't want, I highly suggest you sync with this season. If you're trying to repair a relationship, chances are you've had tunnel vision for a long time. You need some perspective. You need to talk to people who can offer perspective. You need to be open to the perspective. You need to talk to people who can give you strategy about the perspective. If you want and need that, I offer one-on-one coaching. Sign up on my website. I have books there that can give you perspective. Self-intimacy and presence are the 2 that I want to talk about today. All right, so we got the season. We got the 65-day season. We got the 52-day castle. We got the 13-day wave spell. We got the 7-day heptad and the 28-day moon. We just covered a lot of ground. So now let's look at today. What's behind the veil? What is beyond June 7th? Is today June 7th? I don't know. What is beyond June 7th? What does June 7th mean to you? Well, if it means nothing, let me add an additional layer. Thank you, sound, for that. I perfect in order to create, producing mind. I seal the output of vision with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of abundance. I am a polar kin. I extend the blue galactic spectrum. That last sentence, I gotta research. Do you see all the root chakra energy in this? Abundance, manifestation, right? Perfecting. So let's look at where this comes from. If you don't like all of this wordiness, you don't have to have it. You can look right here. If you're just popping in, this is an app that I use. It's available to everyone. And if you want more information, you can join my IG broadcast channel. You need to follow me on IG to do that. And I have all the links and such in there. If you don't like all the wordiness of this, you can look right here. The words you would look at is perfect, produce, manifestation. The power is perfect. The action is produce. The essence is manifestation. Today, what are you producing? Today, what are you producing? So what I want to produce is my journal, my digital journal that is almost done. I'm going to work on the production of it, the perfecting of it, the manifestation of it today. The power is vision. The action is create. The essence is mind. These all go together. What are you creating? And this is coming from your mind space, not your heart space. Today is about the mind. Developing the vision and the concept in the mind. It's about the logic. It's about the imagination. Focus there. I'm coming to the end here. So let's look at what powers, what planetary energies are available. We have the guide, which is the night. That's why we say I'm guided by the power of abundance. The night is offering us the abundance, the ability to dream by our own intuition. We have the analog, which is the seed, and the seed is here in our chat, as well as the energy available to us this day. It's the power of flowering, the action of targeting, and awareness. What are you going to bring into a more excellent state today? The seed is there to help you do that. So it's a nice opportunity to refine. Plus all of the white that we're in, the heptad, the wave spell, and the castle is about refining. Plus you have the seed there to help you do it as well. This is a very good time for you to refine some things. You know, my children were gone for 3 weeks, right? And when they came back, I said, ooh, I got to refine the way I move in this world, because I was so happy and so free and so liberated. And now my divine mother duties is coming back on deck. I got to refine, right? What are you refining? The challenge today is about life force. You need to breathe and you need to expend your energy in spaces that invigorate you. Anything that's draining, we're not doing that today. Because we want to continue to exist in spite of difficulty and challenge. That's survival. And that's the power of your instinct to survive. The essence of it. You're going to do this naturally. You're going to naturally turn away from anything that drains you today. And let me give you a secret. Sometimes you drain you. So you got to turn away from your own mindsets about things. Okay? I'm going to go so far. Don't make me preach. I'm going to go so far as to say you always drain you. Ashe. Anytime you are drained, you are doing it. Oh, now I know somebody might be like, how dare she say that? Well, it's true. Let me tell you how it's true. Draining is an energy, is an experience of the way that you think about something. So if you didn't think that way, then you wouldn't feel drained. But deeper than that, it's not just about the thought process. It's your belief systems. Right. If it hit, I got to preach it. This is more than positive thinking, because I know everyone on this screen has tried to positive think in a real tough situation and it didn't work at times. You be like, oh, I'm just going to think on, heavenly things and I'm not going to worry about it. And on the inside, you are still bothered. I'm taking you to church. I'm a portal. You have tried to positive think during some hard situations and it didn't work. Why? Because positive thinking cannot overtake the power of your belief systems. So you got to go deeper than positive thinking. It's deeper than pulling some positive words together and trying to assert your will to them. You got to believe different. That drains you. That causes all the calamity and the confusion inside of you. It's never anybody else. 100% of the time, it's you. No matter what is going on, you believe something about it. Now, if you don't like what you're experiencing, you can either change your belief system or change the situation, but stop blaming others. We're talking about radical accountability. Stop blaming others. It's not them. It's not how they are. They're not making you anything. You believe it into existence. So again, either you need to change your belief systems or exit from that space. One of the two, but you got to stop blaming. It's you. It's me. Anytime we're drained. The situation is draining because I perceive it in a way that produces drain. Do you see your inherent creativity here? Ashe. What's a channel? Is that a question? You are creative, and this is what I mean when I say you create your reality. Now, don't kick against that and be like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Now, you might not know how to shift your reality. You might not have the energy to shift it, right? You might need some assistance. Okay, that's human, but you do. Oh, what a channel. Oh, thank you. All right, so we're going to stop blaming others and we're going to take radical accountability here. And that is the essence of the antipode or the challenge, the serpent. Preserve your life force. By getting around only positive people? No. If you start thinking, oh, I need to be around some positive people. No, you need to become the positive in your belief system first. Because you're going to get around those positive people and start talking about your negative experience. And radical acceptance. Ashe, we're trying to make this an instinctual thing. And lastly, the energy that is assisting us spiritually, the nature of the spirit guides or the plant allies or whoever or whatever you work with is about, there it is again, the world bridger. Death, equalizing, and opportunity. It's getting so windy out here. Oh, I want y'all to see. Ooh. Let me see. Can they see? It's so pretty. These flower buds are floating around. It almost looks like snow. I can't let y'all see. That's okay. I'm going to record it so y'all can see. All right. So that's it. And I just got a notification about something on the sun. I don't know. I'm recording it for y'all so I can post it. The wind is not blowing the buds anymore, but it was. It was so pretty. Okay. I'm going to post it when we're done. All right, so that's it. Those are the frequencies of the day. Now, I want to read something to you before I go. So you may or may not be able to see all of that. Therefore, I'm going to just read it. It says the effect of basing a civilization on artificial timing factors, an irregular calendar, and mechanical clock has contributed to the creation of the current global crisis. We are consuming natural resources faster than they can be replaced and creating more waste than can be eliminated. We are living a collective misinterpretation of time known as the 1260 frequency, right? 12 months, 60 minutes, 60 seconds, 12 on the clock. This refers to the 12-month cycle and of the irregular Gregorian calendar paced by the 60-minute clock. Living in artificial time disconnects us both as a species and individually from our true nature. Living by the clock and the irregular measure of the Gregorian calendar keeps the world from being as one. We always feel like we never have enough time. In the 1260 frequency, time is money. In the 1320 frequency, time is art. Time is art. So when you look at time and you want to do something, you got to say, I don't want to continue to create that. Don't say I ran out of time. That's not true. I don't want to spend my next portal doing this. Moments are portals. I read that and I'm going to keep it with me. You're not going to say I'm running out of time or I don't have time. You're going to say I'm not going to create that with my moment. That is not the art I'm cooperating with today. You see how it sounds different? Running out of time sounds like in lack. I'm not going to create that, or I don't want to create that. Sounds like empowerment. The Mayan, hold on. The ancient Mayan people have studied the cycle of both the universe and nature around us. They found mathematical connections between the cycles of Venus, the moon, human pregnancy, eclipses, Earth's orbit around the sun, planting and harvesting, to name a few. And they created a harmonic calendar that is synchronized to those cycles. Their zodiac calendar is therefore less of a human invention and more of profound insight into the organizational tendencies within nature. Mayan cosmology developed this insight with great ingenuity and sophistication. The Gregorian calendar was invented to pay taxes, not to keep time. It is not synchronized to the natural cycles, and thus it doesn't help us be aware of them. The Mayan dreamspell calendar is one of the tools you can use to make you more conscious about cycles of time. It can help you get a stronger connection with these cycles and the cosmic organization of time. Ashe. And that is it. Y'all be well rested in the rest of your creation. So even instead of asking people, how was your day? You can say, how was your creation? Instead of saying, have a beautiful rest of your day, you can say, have a beautiful rest of your creation. If you want to say, have a good day, you could say, produce the art you desire. There's all kind of different things. We can get real poetic with it. Ashe. Thank y'all for hanging out. I'm going to go on the Galactic Timekeeping group, the broadcast channel on IG, and I'm going to post my rain video. Y'all didn't get to see the flower buds floating, but I think you'll see a little bit of it. And that's it. Beautiful creation to you as well. And I'll talk to y'all soon.